On the news tonight, Governor Soludo receives the U.S. Consul General Stevens, explore trade investment opportunities. Federal government increases the petrol price to 185 naira per litre. Union Nation issues new recommendations for air travel. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Chidima Orangwa. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has received an audience. The Consul General of the U.S. Consul General in Lagos, Will Stevens. The governor received the U.S. Consul General and his team at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia. Government House correspondent Val Mbaduga has details.
Speaking shortly after a closed-door meeting, Governor Soludo hinted that their discussion hovered around opportunities repellent in trade, commerce and technology.
Nigeria and the U.S. have enjoyed very long beneficial relationship over the decades, and the U.S. Consulate General came today on a courtesy call, and we'll review the kind of partnerships and programs and stuff that they have enjoyed with Nigeria and the state in particular, and then for us also to explore further areas of partnership and cooperation, particularly in the areas of trade and investment. And we had very fruitful conversations around those in the areas of tech, innovation, in the areas of trade. We are developing an export emporium, of which we will need a strong partnership with them.
For his part, Mr. Stevens said that the relationship between the United States and Nigeria is rich with productive history, giving assurance that more areas of partnership will be reviewed and explored. As Consul General in Lagos, Mr. Stevens is the senior U.S. government representative to Nigerian people throughout the 17 states in southern Nigeria and is responsible for leading and overseeing U.S. government activities that enhance trade and investment relations as well as bilateral people-to-people ties across the region.
At the U.S. Consulate General in Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm here today to have a wonderful meeting with the governor here in Anambra to talk about the great work that the United States is doing together with the government here and the people here. Talk about trade and investment, explore opportunities where we can expand that growth. And of course, with just 5 weeks to go before Nigeria's election, to talk about the preparations that the state is undertaking to prepare for these important elections and how the U.S. has supported Nigeria's government, INEC, and civil society to prepare for what we hope will be free, fair, peaceful, and credible elections that represent the will of the Nigerian people.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Uche Okafor, Secretary to the State Government, Professor Tolochukwu Lebelu, Head of Service, Barrister Theodora Igwebe, Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajui, among others, were present during the courtesy call. From the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Valentine Bada reporting, Fabius News.
Presidents General of all the communities in Anambra North Senatorial District have unanimously resolved to support the senatorial candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, for the zone, Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano. They made the resolution after their first quarterly meeting for the year, which held at Anambra East Local Government Headquarters, Utocha. The PGs alleged that the zone has been denied their dividends of democracy and lack of power of equity due to poor representation in the zone. Correspondent Mark Achibuzo Okoye has the report.
Speaking through the National Vice President, Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, Anambra North Assembly, Professor Charles Nwadigwe, said they considered all issues, problems and challenges facing their people ranging from insecurity, poverty, unemployment and poor infrastructure in their area, and having scrutinized candidates vying for the senatorial seat, unanimously decided to support Chief Obiano to represent them. Professor Nwadigwe revealed that Chief Mrs. Obiano is competent, articulated, educated, and has track record of performance even when she was an unelected official as the wife of the governor that transformed the lives of people through her cafe initiative.
We rose unanimously and decided to support the candidacy of Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, the candidate for ABGA, based on her competence, based on her track record when she was First Lady, and based on the principle that fairness is part of democracy. So we support, and we are going to our communities to work hard and convince our people to cast their vote for her, because she is more positioned to give us an effective representation come 2023 Senate.
In response, Chief Mrs. Obiano said she was elated by the actions of the PGs and promised to deliver effective, efficient and transparent representation if elected next month. Chief Mrs. Obiano stated that her achievements through CAFE initiative will only be a tip of the iceberg when compared with what she has in stock for Nde Anambra North.
I feel great. I feel blessed, and I'm highly elated by this singular action of the PGs. It shows that there is something they all saw in me that they feel should be explored and utilized. Thank God for this, and my promise is that I will not let them down. I didn't let them down as a wife of governor when my husband was in service, and I won't start now.
For the Transition Committee Chairman, Anambra East Council Area, Dr. Anselm Honora commended the PGs for the endorsement and said their stance is a great way to appreciate the legacy projects done in the zone by former Governor Willie Obiano and his wife, Ebele.
The President General of the all communities in Anambra North found what they did when they were in power very responsive, very good, and as a reward for doing better as First Lady, and now sending her to the Senate unanimously that among all candidates that she will do better. More importantly, that she's from APGA, the government of the day, now led by Professor Chukwuma Soludo, in equity and fairness, is now part of the Omambala section of the senatorial district. So what they did today is something that is very fair, very just and very commendable.
On his part, the Vice Chairman, All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Anambra North, and Coordinator, Osodeme Campaign Movement, Chief Chinedu Nnatwanya, said for the sake of equity, it was only right for Omabala block of the senatorial zone to produce the next senator, since the Obaru block has been there for over 7 years. The President General of Nteje, Chief Chidebele Obika, moved the motion for adoption of the resolution. They later presented Chief Mrs. Obiano the document of their resolution. From Otocha, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The resident electoral commissioner, Anambra State, Dr. Queen Elizabeth Agwu, has charged youth to serve as independent National Electoral Commission's vanguard in the various communities for free and peaceful polls in the state. Dr. Agwu made the appeal during a sensitization meeting for community youth leaders from the 179 communities in Anambra State at the INEC headquarters in Oka. She commended the impressive turnout of youth during the just concluded continuous voter educate registration exercise and urged them to sustain the zeal and exhibit their strength by coming out en masse to vote during the polls. Political correspondent Stella Ibuka was there and report.
Dr. Agwu disclosed that the youths constitute over 65 million out of the 93 million voters that will decide the 2023 election, saying that they will determine the election outcome if the number is turned into votes to elect the leaders of their choice. The INEC boss identified the role of youth in the election project as inestimable and highlighted that they not only provide a ready and reliable source of manpower who serve as not only as election ad hoc staff but also as the custodians that protect election materials and ensure safety in their communities. Dr. Agwu further advised youth leaders to guard their future by protecting their communities and eschew social vices such as vote trading, political thuggery, cultism and kidnapping, among others, that can mar the electoral process in their zones.
We could make up our mind that we want to change the narrative. We want to do things, common things, differently uncommon. to achieve a different result.
Contributing, the INEC head of administration, Mr. Sunday Webwe, while reiterating the commission's readiness to conduct a free and credible election in a conducive environment, urged youths to be the commission's foot soldiers in their various communities. In his contribution, the Anambra State Association of Town Unions Youth President, Mr. Ken Okorie, applauded the INEC new management for initiating the interactive session with youth leaders in the state and expressed their preparedness to partner with the commission in ensuring peaceful poll in the state.
Inviting us to be part of this transition and interactive section, we take it as something very vital because in building the nation, youth play a very critical role.
Other youth leaders who contributed during the interactive session spoke of their roles as field marshals during election periods and requested for logistics to community youths to facilitate their jobs at the poll. From INEC headquarters in Awka, I am Stella Ibuka reporting for ABS News.
The FC Obala's annual memorial lecture will hold on Tuesday next week in Awka. Members of the late Chief FC Obala Annual Memorial Lecture Planning Committee disclosed this when they visited the Managing Director of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, Mr. Chido Obidiegu, and his management team in Awka. The team, led by the Dean Faculty of Art of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Greg Obiamalo, said the lecture series is scheduled to hold at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University auditorium. David Ndife has the report.
Professor Obiamalo, who described the late Chief Obalo as an icon of many achievements, noted that the man was a prominent son of Igbo extraction who spent his lifetime and money working assiduously to promote and protect the core Igbo cultural values. According to him, the impact of the life and time of the late Chief Obalo was so strong that the Nnamdi Azikiwe University community decided to immortalize his legacy by holding annual memorial lectures in honor of his great struggle and contributions in promoting Igbo language and other core values in the society. He announced the title of this year's lecture, Nchekwa na Akụnụba Nigeria, Ala Igbo Dịka Ihe Nlereanya, saying that it was carved out of the menace of insecurity that has engulfed the country, especially the southeastern region.
Nnamdi Azikiwe University wee kwekọrịta ka a na-eme ncheta ya n'ụdị mana anyị na ndị academic enwe ihe a na-akpọ town and gown, a form of lecture a ga-akpọkọta ma ndị obodo ma ndị academics wee kwuo maka ya. So na nke ahụ bụ nke 11.
Responding, the MD ABS, Sachido, said FC Obalo was a household name which his personality and profile has contributed immensely in promoting the Igbo cultural value. Sachido observed that the lecture is necessary to encourage and educate young Igbo children to embrace Igbo language and culture, and advised the committee to work more on sensitizing the people on the importance of Igbo language by visiting the station frequently to engage on such programs.
Because as Igbo na-anazikwana so I na-ekene unu mbụ na-agbaka as Igbo galena ife unu na-eme kuna na-agwa ndị mmadụ maka ife gbasara asụsụ a n'ụlọ ka o kwesịrị ibido n'ụlọ nne na nna na-asụrụ ụmụaka Igbo ndị be anyị dịzikwa na-eme na n'ịsụ oyibo na ọnya Igbo n'ibuka ndị Yoruba na-abụ fanọrọ fana etikepụ mgbatịgbatị fa mana ndị be anyị abịazi onye ọbụla na-asụ kepụ oyibo.
Anambra State Housing Development Corporation, ORCA, has organized a 2-day capacity training for its staff aimed at improving productivity and re-engineering the workplace for optimal performance. The workshop held at the corporation's headquarters in ORCA was in conjunction with the Industrial Training Fund, or ITF. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzuko reports that the training also aimed to develop the knowledge, skills and capabilities of participants. Her report.
Speaking, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anambra State Housing Development Corporation, Mr. Chike Anyonu, said he is committed to staff development through constant training and retraining. Mr. Anyonu further disclosed that the training will further equip staff to learn value-added skills that will enable them perform at their various points of duty, while appealing to them to take advantage of the training to boost productivity.
And now we are saying we want to take this thing up notch, to move it further, courtesy of this program, to enable our staff to learn those skills, value-added skills, that will enable us to do or perform our various functions, responsibilities better.
Taking participants on while re-engineering the workplace, the area manager ITF Oka branch, Mrs. Nancy Ekong, defined it as total overhauling of people at a workplace, their mindsets and behavior through utilization of technology and the creation of new value propositions. She maintained that when organizations re-engineer their workplace processes, the overall outcome will be an improved and sustained productivity practice that will ultimately lead to profitability of all stakeholders. The head of training, ITF Oka branch, Mr. Franklin Okafor, urged the participants to brace up to the acquired knowledge in order to restructure the corporation and take it to a greater height. The head, Human and General Resources of the corporation, Mr. Victor Obiefuna, and the head, Corporate Services, Media and Marketing, Mrs. Jane Okafor, while thanking the management for the initiative, expressed hope that the training will change the attitude of some staff and government bureaucratic ways of doing things to the world best practices.
I believe that this program is designed to change the mind and lives of every staff in this office. This is actually visionary, and this is a step in the right direction. The moment this thing was brought to his table, he gave his express approval, and our gratitude goes to him.
This essence of doing this training to re-engineer the workforce, so that each of us will all know what we are here to do, know the essence of teamwork, to be more productive.
Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Still on the news tonight, the media have been urged to be more professional in discharging their duties, especially in matters concerning national security. The Acting Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuka Guzo, who disclosed this at his official taking over as Director Defense Information in Abuja, appreciated the media for their continuous support to the armed forces and national development. He cautioned that as the general election is around the corner, the media should be worried about reporting anything that will affect the morale of troops and the credibility of the armed forces as they work towards supporting other government agencies to achieve a peaceful and credible operation across the country. General Guzo noted that the appointment of the outgoing Director of Defense Information, Major General Jimmy Akpo, as the Director of Personnel Services, Nigeria Army Headquarters, is a well-deserved honor and implored the media to accord him the same respect given to the former director. Earlier, the outgoing Director of Defense Information, Major General Jimmy Akpo, who is now the Director of Personnel Services, Nigeria Army Headquarters, noted that there is an understanding between the military and the media of what their responsibilities are. According to him, the responsibilities of the media is to inform, educate, and enlighten the society so as to improve and inform the public. General Akpo noted that as the media have a role to play in creating a peaceful environment for all citizens to aspire to live their dreams, the Armed Forces of Nigeria as a group has done great exploits in restoring the peace, especially in the northeast, amongst other achievements due to dogged effort of the military. The federal government has officially increased the price of petrol by 8.8% to 185 naira per litre from 170 naira per litre. According to reports, many filling stations have been selling far above this new price, a situation which may have made the new price almost unrealistic. In a notice to fuel marketers, the government directed that the new price should take immediate effect. The development caused further anxiety for motorists who spent hours in few queues in search of the product. The United Nations agency regulating the global aviation industry, the International Civil Aviation Organization, has issued new recommendations for countries on COVID-19 related requirements for air travel. Reacting to the new guidelines, the ICAO's Secretary General Juan Carlos Salazar said the new ICAO bulletin clearly emphasizes that as more states lift their COVID-19 related cross-border restrictions for all travelers. Also, ICAO Council President Salvatore Schiacitano stressed that the need for regular, thorough risk assessment based on evidence and comparable indicators is noted in the bulletin, in adding to assessing applicable public health resources in both the departure and destination states, ensuring good communication among the diverse stakeholders involved, and balancing the public health risks with the need for continuation of services. All of these priorities were highlighted by the ICAO Council's CART's recommendation, which helped aviation recover from the pandemic, and the principles remain just as relevant today as we face this new variant. This is to inform the general public, and in particular Anambra State Indigene, the application for direct short service into the Nigeria Air Force has commenced and will end on 30th of January 2023. Interested applicants are to apply free of charge online at www.nafrirecruitment.mil.ng and read carefully the specific disciplines required before filing the form. Applicants must be between 20 and 30 years of age and possess the following: credit in English and mathematics, as well as 3 other subjects related to their course of study. A minimum of second class upper division or first degree holders and upper credit for HND holders. NYSC discharge certificate or a letter of exemption. For further inquiry, please contact the Protocol Unit, Office of the Secretary of the State Government, Awka, Announcer Professor Solo Chukwulubelu, Secretary to the State Government. Remember also that you can follow ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television, Awka. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television, Awka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main point again. Governor Soludo has received the U.S. Consul General Stevens explore trade investment opportunities. Federal government has increased the petrol price to 185 naira per litre. And we also told you that the United Nations has issued new recommendations for air travel. Here's a special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the tax ahead. And that's it on the news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chidimma Orangwa. Good night.